West Ham welcome Leeds United to the London Stadium for an FA Cup third round tie. I think it's one of only 3 all Premier League ties in the FA Cup third round this time round, and both sides come into the match off the back of a year-opening Premier League wins, and will hope to start 2022 in better form than when they finished 2021. Matt, it's the FA Cup, mate. Third round, how are you feeling about it?
It's the FA Cup, so you always get excited. Everyone always wants a cup run. I do feel, and this is maybe just me getting old, it's a bit weird that there was like non-league league games played today, and you've got an all Premier League tie, and they were like, yeah, let's put that on TV instead. Like, not being funny, are we literally not on TV next weekend against Leeds? And it's just maybe that's just like, for me, that's like a bit of where the magic of the FA Cup's died. Because like as fans, we all hang on to it. But then, like, there wasn't Premier League ones, but there was like League One scouts. Like, I think or Championship and non-league, and it's like, why not have one of them on?
Yeah,
but
I tell you what, though, the magic,
it's FA Cup.
Magic of the FA Cup happened today, though, didn't it? I mean, one of the big guns have gone out already, or 2, you could say. Newcastle were and on the receiving end of a.
But like that game, put that on the prime, not on the 3 o'clock slot. Like,
yeah, I know. You know, money talks, mate. Money talks. Anyway, we're not joined by ourselves. I don't know if any of you's got a chance to watch it, but I'll bring him on. Mr. Shedman himself, Nige. I had to do it, mate. I seen you earlier on. You were like this up on the screen. I was like, I should have brought him on then.
Because I was with Toby run.
How you doing, mate? You all right?
Yeah, that's from last night. Believe it or not, I forgot to eat it.
Well, before we talk about last night, I mean, I see something interesting with your name. It's not the Shedman. It's not Nigel. It's not Mr. ITK. Tell us what it is. Don't spit that drink out, though.
Swig of the tea. Pick the right cup up because I left last night's cup. Just had a swig of cold tea from last night, so I needed that hot tea. 6foot2.co.uk is the new website, fanzine style website for West Ham fans. There's the members part, there's non-members part. Membership's free till the end of the season, till July. And then obviously the membership will then kick in, but there'll be free content on there, videos, articles. Tomorrow there's an article going up about the last time West Ham played Leeds in the FA Cup final, which if you did the quiz on the West Ham United official email today, you would have had 4 answers to choose. Yeah. And not one of them was the right score of the game they were asking you to predict the score.
So is this the last time West Ham took on Leeds United in the FA Cup?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, let's take a little look and see what happened last time out. Don't know. I just feel like you're going to tell me I've done something wrong.
No. You didn't share images from the game, but you picked Vic Watson. I know why you did that, obviously, because he scored all 4 goals in the game. Now, eagle-eyed people, if they'd have got their West Ham United email today previewing the Leeds game, they would have seen quiz. And they would, and on that quiz, it said West Ham played Leeds in 1932, yeah, or 1930. What was the score? And they gave you 4 answers, and neither of the answers was the correct score. Now you got the score correct, yeah, and you're thinking, and it just goes to show you. Actually, I'm quite happy because I'd already wrote my article before I see that the email had come in that says that we beat Leeds 4-1. I explained the story. I've got a little video clip from the game itself.
Oh, wow.
On there. So that'll be out tomorrow at 10 o'clock in the morning on 6foot2.co.uk. And obviously, West Ham actually beat Leeds 4-1, as you correctly said. But if you look at the West Ham United's email, the quiz on there, I think it says like 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, 4-0. I don't know why it's saying that. I'll send that to my... Yeah.
I'll make sure I've definitely got the right... I have got the right link. I'm putting that in the chat now, so maybe that's why. But just type in, like Nigel said, 6foot2.co.uk. Yeah. And it's the number 6 and it's the number 2.
Yeah, that's right.
But Nigel, I mean, listen, I'm not blowing your trumpet here, but technically in a roundabout way I am, right? Because, you know, you come with such a great knowledge of West Ham. I love it. I think it's great. And it's good that you want to give that information back to the West Ham fans. So from a you know, an avid West Ham fan who absolutely loves, you know, the history of the club. I grew up with my dad telling me some of the stuff. You go to the next level, Nigel. There's always a keen story, a keen interest in what you're telling. Honestly, go across, check it out, join the membership program. You will never, ever regret that. Genuinely, you won't regret it because it is good. It's great content, Nigel. And everyone says that as well who comes on this show. But last night as well, I want to give a plug to the lads over at Claret and Booze. They've done an FA Cup reminiscence show with you. Nigel, last night I had a chance to watch a little bit of it. And yeah, it was just
you watched a little bit. What, you didn't watch it all?
I watched most of it, but you know, I did have the little man. I was feeding him, and I was trying to say that to you. But the show was fantastic, and fair play to you lads over there in Claret and Blues as well. So go across and subscribe to their channel as well. But the good thing is, I mean, Nigel, it just comes off your fucking brain, mate. Like literally, it's like someone says, "Oh, we played that game in 1986 on a Tuesday night at 7:45," and you're like that. Yeah, Tranmere, and it was this and that and this and that, and I was like, "What the fuck?" It takes me about 10 minutes to compute it, and it's just, I love it. I love it.
It's funny because it's the stuff that had nothing to do with the game as well. There I go, you know, like the Sporting Lisbon, as I said last night, 1995 centennial game. What do you remember about that? Oh, that was the night fucking Seaman got done by Neymar because I was walking past the bowling pub after the game. Sporting Lisbon had beat West Ham. It was a fucking shit game. I think there was about 10,000 fans there to celebrate our fake centenary. And, you know, it was just, that's my abiding memory of the night. I couldn't even tell you. You know, I think it was like 3-1 Sporting Lisbon or something. I couldn't tell you the result of the game. It was just funny standing, looking in the window of the bowling pub at the TV that was high up. And there was Seaman just sprawled in the net.
But yeah, I mean, it's great because you just obviously live and breathe the club, and most West Ham fans can kind of, you know, and that's the thing when we do these channels, when we do these things. For me personally, it's all about, you know, the love of West Ham. We can't let that. You know, it's great that we do content. It's great that we try and give information across.
Look, what makes us more important, like the YouTubers and the stuff that do the history, what makes us more important is the idiots that put those emails together and can't even get a fucking scoreline right. I love it. I you know, because you think, well, I will use that. You know, I will embarrass the club, you know, because all the way along for years, I've said to them, if you can't get the little things right, how do we trust you to do the big things right?
It's funny you say that.
It's such a little thing.
It came up yesterday with myself, Stell, and Russ. We were talking about it, and I was saying that, you know, for such a club that's wanting to kind of go more viral around the world, we don't do a great job at it. We really don't, and it's disappointing because you think there is opportunities there for them to do it, but they don't, and that's probably why we try and do what we do. But I mean, there's no question about it. Again, not licking your arse, but
no, but I mean, separately, if you take all the social media people as a whole, the club don't engage with them, yet we're one of the biggest adverts. Yeah, you think of all the people that watch West Ham Fan TV, West Ham Network, Claret and Booze, you know, all the other channels and everything, and go on the websites, Knees Up Mother Brown, West Ham Till I Die, everything else. West Ham refuse. You know that West Ham United as a club generally refuse to engage with the people.
Yeah,
but we're their best advert.
Yeah, you're right, mate. You're right.
And right. You know, until they're gone, until there's a change there, it will always be that way. And, you know, one day soon we'll live and know, don't we? Well, we will, most of us do.
We will. Well, one more last plug. If you haven't done it already, go across, check that link out in the chat, 6foot2.co.uk. Sign up for a membership. and then you'll see what it's all about as well. So anyway, Nige, thanks for joining us, mate. FA Cup third round time. Already we've seen some giant killing taking place today. How are you feeling about the game tomorrow?
I must admit, I've not really seen a lot of football today. I've been a busy bee, organising stuff and everything else. So I'm a bit nervous because hopefully our cup team's better than their reserve team. You know, I can't see them. I can't see Leeds putting out a great team. They've not been past the third round, I think, for 4 seasons.
Yep.
Their cup pedigree is, frankly, it consists of from 1965, I think, to 1973, and that's it for them in the FA Cup. But the thing is, they're going to have how many Leeds fans in the ground? 7,000, is it?
I think it was well, I heard it was about 9,000. Was it? Yeah, is it not quite a big? Is it not quite a large amount?
Well, you know, with that backing, anything can happen. You know, I remember League One Leeds beating Man United.
But see, this is the thing, though, isn't it, Matt? It's like, you know, it's the love of the cup. It's, you know, do you take form from the Premier League into the FA Cup? I mean, let's park all other cups just now. This is just about the FA Cup. Do you park league form and just concentrate solely on the FA Cup?
Normally, I'd say yes, but given that it's 2 Premier League teams, it will depend how much both teams rotate. I mean, Leeds have got 7, 8, 9 players out injured. We've got a few injuries and a few COVID cases, so it's normally you would say like if you look like you said, giant killings. Newcastle got knocked out by Cambridge today. The Newcastle were genuinely awful.
Oh, right. Sorry, you didn't see it then. Oh, you did see it.
No, I didn't.
Oh, did you?
They lost 1-0 to Cambridge United.
Yeah.
Wow. Was Trippier playing?
Yes, started. Right.
Ashley.
So,
well, Derby was saying that soon. Kidderminster, they beat Reading 2-1 today as well. So that was the other one.
Yeah, Boreham Wood won, I think, as well. Beat AFC
Wimbledon.
Yeah,
I suppose that would be an upset. Yeah.
But I mean, it's it is the FA Cup, and it's been such a long time in it, Nige, and we spoke about it at the beginning of the season, and fans are desperate for a cup run. It's not just a cup run; you want the club to get as far as they can and hopefully go ahead and pick this cup up. I mean, I've seen look at that behind you. I mean, it's phenomenal to look at, innit? I mean, I know you treat it like a bloody baby, don't you? he feeds it milk at night when it's.
Well, it will be packed back away. You're lucky because obviously we didn't finish till nearly 1 o'clock yesterday morning.
Yeah.
Or this morning, and then I went off to watch the cricket. I've had about 3.5 hours sleep. That's why I said you was lucky to catch me. So last night I just bolted, so I've left it there. So it will be packed up tomorrow, back in its box.
But it does look the part. But you know, it is the FA Cup, mate. I mean, what would it mean to West Ham fans, and what would it mean to Moyes in this particular team if we could make it to the final and win the final?
Well, West Ham as a club it was built on winning the FA Cup because it's the first thing that we won.
Yeah.
So, you know, I went through it all last night on Claret and Booze. When you go through it, and West Ham, are we really ever going to win the Premier League? And if for me, and I know it's different, we can all get, you know, big-headed and say, oh, it's all about this. It's all about what you want personally. Personally, for me, being a football fan is about glory. And glory ain't really finishing fourth. Yeah, glory is about trophies and medals. Medals for the players and trophies for the fans to celebrate. And you know, this season we got 3 trophies, cup competitions that we could have won. We did okay. We got the quarterfinals in 1. You know, we now got a chance with this one, and we got the League Cup. Me, as a kid growing up, I loved the FA Cup itself as a tournament without West Ham winning it. I mean, obviously, I was lucky enough to remember 75. First FA Cup final watched, 5 years old. I know I can tell everybody about the game because I've rewatched it so many times. I suppose as a 5-year-old, I remember snippets of it. Obviously, West Ham won. We had a street party after out in our street. You know, your dad will tell you about the old knees ups.
Oh, he tells me
yeah,
about
that's
it.
what I'm saying. So,
Yeah.
throughout East and West Ham and everywhere, there were street parties galore, which we did again in 1980. So, 3 FA Cups between 1964 and 1980. I see a great stat today about the FA Cup, and I think there was 13 different winners between something like 1965 and 1980, and since 1980 there's only been 13 different winners, or 1979 actually.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it?
So it's sort of the last time this. If you look at the 13 teams that have won it in that period, including us, the last time that 2 teams were in the final, not from one of those 13 teams, I can't remember them offhand, but we all know who's won the FA Cup recently. You'd have to go back to the 1960 final.
Wow.
So it's a cup competition where you think the big clubs don't take it seriously, and then you look at it and see who wins it. But why is that? Because now they've got the squads that can do it. Where when you look back then, it was you played your first team of a weekend, you played your first team in the FA Cup, and if they drew, they played a replay 3 days later, and if they drew that, they played that the week after playing another league game, and it was all the same players.
Now, on that point there, you mentioned the replay. Now, Matt, things have changed this season. They've announced that they're not going to be doing the replays. How do you think that is? Is that a good decision in considering the situation we're in, or is that a negative? Does that have a negative impact?
Both. I mean, look, that is their excuse now. So the reason this year, they said originally the 3rd and 4th round was going to get a replay, and from the 5th round on, they were going to bin it. And then Premier League, Championship, League One, League Two had so many games cancelled over Christmas that they went, no, we'll bin it off. So, yes, for Premier League teams, it's fantastic. Because the worst thing you want, probably like Everton today, got lucky. I mean, I think they won 3-2 in the end at Hull, but they had to go to extra time to do it.
Yeah.
The game finished on 90 minutes 2-2. So in theory, Hull should have got a replay like next week. Everton wouldn't want that. That was probably like the one result Everton wouldn't want. It would have been a replay. But if you're looking at like I said, if you're looking at a League Two or a non-league team, they can get a draw and go back to the big team for an away game on TV. For them, it's massive money. And for a non-league team, that could sort them out. They get £1 million. That might sort them out for 5 years, especially in the COVID time when money's hard to come by. So for the big Premier League teams, big old Premier League, yeah, great. It's another game we ain't got to play. Especially for like the mid, a team maybe down the bottom of the Premier League in a relegation battle, they might not want the games. They might not have the players. Might not want the game. Just no, get rid of it.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I don't know. I think it's another thing just to take away from the magic. To be honest,
yeah.
For me personally,
has the magic gone, Nige, or are you sitting here on the eve of the FA Cup and it's starting to kick in again? Because in the lead up to this game before today, actually, if I'm being brutally honest, until I watched the show last night with you and the lads from Claret and Booze, my kind of, not, I wouldn't say the magic sprinkle had kind of gone, but that kind of reignited it a little bit. And just listening to the history, and that's what you said it at the start there. The FA Cup is about the history of what West Ham have done, and that's what every time the FA Cup comes on, I wasn't fortunate enough to be around when we won it, but it's been rammed down my throat since I've been a kid.
Yeah,
that my dad was there every single occasion. He tells me all the stories, and I want to emulate that so fucking bad.
I mean, West Ham's only ever won 2 trophies. Yeah, properly. Only ever won 2 trophies, and even the European Cup, we only won that because we won the FA Cup. So without winning the FA Cup, you don't have it. So, and this is why I've always been disappointed when we've not took it seriously. Now, funny enough, what was happening, in recent years, whatever, it was always, we've got to make sure we're in the Premier League, put a crap team out in the Cup. And then you think, well, wouldn't it be good to have a season where we're not in danger of going down? Well, here we are. Here we are. There's a season. We're not in danger of going down. Let's at least... as regards the magic of the FA Cup, has it gone? I think so, yes, in a way. But I think what it is because if you look back at I used to watch the FA Cup. So now the FA Cup is Friday, Saturday, or actually Friday, Saturday early, Saturday late, Saturday evening, Sunday early-ish, Sunday late, Monday evening, well, what we used to have was Saturday, 3 o'clock, FA Cup, everybody, So, all right, I get it with TV, but sometimes I think, and it is good for the little Cubs, and I'm with Matt, it's bonkers they're having West Ham Leeds. Yeah, it is absolute bonkers that they're having that on TV when there are, you want to see, generally we're normally on because they hope to get a giant killing. Because Sky used to, and all that used to chase who we were playing because they knew there was always an upset on the cards, but it don't happen now.
We're on TV next week.
Yeah,
against the same team. Yeah. What's the point?
Yeah. So, has the magic gone? Yes, a bit because of the way they do it. Even down to the fact that they don't even have a 3 o'clock kickoff on the day of the final.
Yeah. Which is for American viewers.
Yeah. So if you
put it back to 5 o'clock, don't they? Because it's a more manageable time for America.
Yeah. And the weird thing is that the press and the FA go, oh, the magic of the cup's gone. How do we get it back? There's an easy way of doing it, but they don't want to because it's all about, it's all about the TV and everything and the exposure around the world, not in this country. There is an easy... I'm not adverse to having extra time at the end of first legs or first ties, actually, because if you have extra time in the replay and then penalties, well, why not have extra time? Now, I think you've said, I think a couple of games have gone to extra time today and teams have won. Well, those teams would have gone to replays, isn't it? So it makes sense, actually, when players may be a bit fresher to play extra time in the first ties as well. See if it can be finished. If it can't, I understand with the fixture congestion and everything else, not having replays. I think it's a shame because if you go back to 1980, the replay against West Brom, Gary did a great thing last night where he showed you the quality of the teams. So where West Ham were in Division 1, Division 2, West Brom the previous year had finished third in Division 1. They were a UEFA Cup team that year. So to go to West Brom, get a draw, and come back to Upton Park 3 days later and win in the replay, outstanding. We had to have a replay against Everton in the semi-final. Now, Everton had a bloke sent off, might have done them a favour. But if that hadn't have happened, that could have changed our course of history.
Of course it could have, yeah.
So,
100%.
I get it. I understand about the pressure of games and everything else. But, when players were a bit tubbier, smoked, drank, had steak as a pre-match meal and played on pitch without grass, could play 60 odd games. I think they said Arsenal, I think it was Gary who said last night, which I didn't know, Arsenal's played 70 games that season, 1980. They had 4 goes at the semi-final with Liverpool.
Yeah, it's madness.
Yeah, and you think from that semi-final, they had 4 goes in April to get to the final. They also played Juventus twice in the semi-final of the European Cup Winners' Cup.
Yeah.
And they played league games. So no wonder we beat them. And I'm not dismissing what we've done, but when you look at it, you think, no wonder they were tired.
But the FA Cup is about that game at that moment. It's the knockout competition. It's what gives it the kind of, the buzz, the excitement, and anything literally does happen on the day. It's it's literally knockout. You go toe to toe, and that is the thing. And I think it depends on what, mindset. I mean, I've seen some Burnley fans, for example, saying that they really need to concentrate in the league So they were actually quite happy that they got knocked out of the FA Cup today.
Well,
because that's something for them to take their mind off of the league situation. And someone in the chat said earlier on that teams and fans now concentrate heavily more on finishing fourth in the fourth spot to get Champions League in the league than trying to win the FA Cup.
Right. Spin this round. 1980, we're sitting fifth in Division 2, but we were running in the FA Cup. What videos would we have made?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We'd been relegated in 78. 2 years later, we're still not promoted. We're fighting we're on the fringes of promotion, but we were doing in the FA Cup. Would we be sitting here and going, we got to get back in top flight. We got to be, perhaps one day we should do a script where we pick a game like that and we have to pretend.
Pick a season. Like,
I got a fucking John Lyle's an idiot. He's not playing the best player. I think it was before the semi-final, we played Shrewsbury Town. It was even and he dropped everyone. I think it might have been before the final. We played Shrewsbury Town. Crap. They beat us 3-1. Lyle put the reserves out. It was even before this. Devonshire didn't play. And we lost 3-1 to bleeding Shrewsbury Town. Now, if we'd have beat Shrewsbury Town that day, we'd have been on the fringes of promotion. So, but we didn't. We went for the cup. But hey, it's probably the biggest cup win in West Ham's career. Most remembered and everything. So
Yep, absolutely. Well, listen, let's go and have a brief chat about Leeds. I don't want to talk about them for a long time, but let's just take a little look at the opposition. Now, Bielsa is having the time of his life, not right now. Injuries are kicking in big style. Calvin Phillips, Liam Cooper, Rodrigo, Pascal Strout, Creswell, Shackleton. I mean, he was even saying in his press conference today that he kind of hinted, or was it yesterday, that Bamford probably shouldn't play, but probably will play. That probably will play. Because they've got no one else to play in that position.
Because even the kid that's been playing for him, Geldhart, someone, I don't understand, manager. This time of year, I know Klopp said for Liverpool that when they're playing twice a week, every 3 days, he said they don't bother training at the moment. They literally just do like recovery sessions.
Yeah.
And then I don't know how long he's out for. I think he said he might be out for like 2 months. Geldhart. He's had a crunching tackle in training, and someone's put him on a stretcher for 2 months. And you think you haven't got any players as it is, and you're going full-blooded in training, and then you're injuring players in training.
And one of their players got injured celebrating a goal a couple of games ago.
That was Bamford.
Was that Bamford?
That was Bamford.
Yeah.
I think I don't know. I want to say it was Burnley, but I'm not sure. They played a game.
Yeah.
And they were battering on the door. And as you said, he shouldn't play tomorrow, but probably will. He'd just come off the back of a hamstring injury. Hadn't had any game time. They brought him on for the last 10 minutes. And a proper centre forward, he fired one in on the goal line to snatch him an equaliser in the 95th minute. And then he's gone full Adebayor, sprinted half the length of the pitch and done a knee slide and pulled his hamstring running up the pitch to celebrate.
Yeah, ridiculous, isn't it? Ridiculous. Before we move on, though, Matt, just very quickly, Crosshammer, I hope you're okay, mate. I don't know what's going on there, but just keep your head up, whatever it is, and I hope you are okay. So they are struggling. They are struggling, but I said it earlier on when I was talking to someone. It is the magic of the FA Cup. I'm going to keep saying it. But whenever these players are out, it's an opportunity for someone else to come in and try and prove that they are there to try and keep that position. Nige, Leeds have got a reasonable history of bringing through some young players. Their team is a strong mixture of young players. They've got a good manager in Bielsa. A lot of the Premier League managers rate him. Moyes loves him, thinks he's great, he's unique. But no matter however many players are there, it is an opportunity for these other players to come through the ranks and show them what they're capable of doing. And if there's ever a cup competition to do that, it's the FA Cup, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose in some way the early rounds of the FA Cup for the bigger teams has become the blooding ground, isn't it? So, while it is funny, we all say we want to see kids play, we want to win the cup, but sometimes you think there's a better way of doing it. Don't do it the Allardyce way against Nottingham Forest. But I suppose Leeds' hands being forced, isn't it? I mean, the mad thing is, all they needed was a couple of goalkeepers to have COVID, and they could have called the game off.
I'm surprised they haven't tried, because I'm sure teams have called it off with less.
And it does make you wonder, doesn't it? And this is the funny thing is, if you've got players injured, crack on. Oh, he's got a snivel. Oh, we'll call it all off. Shut the training ground. It's noticeable if you look. There's only an handful of teams, I think we're one of them, where we have not been the cause. We've had a game called off, but that's because of the opposition cried off, not because of us. Yeah. And the funny thing is that the teams that have played through it have not suffered in form.
Yeah.
Yeah, where people like Liverpool have struggled a bit after having their break and then moaning up like anything about having a break, yet they come out and they're ring rusty. Well, we're not, are we? Because we've been playing. So, and if you look, he's used a lot of players this season, so he's made full use of his squad. And we're lucky we've had the UEFA Cup 6 games there that we could do that. So our players, even the players that play tomorrow, shouldn't be rusty. So, I must admit, I watched Leeds Match of the Day. I'm not up on player names. I know Rodrigo. I think he's their star player, isn't he? Obviously, Patrick Bamford. He's a bit of an enigma because I worked for a company that used to sponsor Derby. Patrick Bamford was there, and he was supposed to be decent, but I never saw it. And he went to clubs like Middlesbrough. He was. I think he was a Chelsea loanee, wasn't he? He was like Middlesbrough, Derby. He just went everywhere. Never set the world alight. Went to Leeds, and I think Bielsa got hold of him. And in a way, it reminds me of Gianfranco Zola getting hold of Colton Cole.
Yeah, that's right.
Bamford's a similar type of striker as Colton Cole. Zola got Colton Cole into the England team. And it ain't a joke because actually, when you look at it, Colton deserved at that time that England.
Oh, yeah. He was getting like 15, 20 goals a season.
Yeah. Under Zola. So there was a connection there. And I love him. I love him because he took a pay cut and everything when we went down and stayed with the club and came back to us. The reason he came back is no one wanted him, and he was the only one available. But anyway, just that, that, the fact that I love him. But let's not dress him up. He weren't the greatest, was he?
I'll ask that to the chat. What do you think? Get your comments in as well.
Lovely person, crap pundit as well. Let's get this right.
That's why they put him on the West Ham games all the time, isn't
it? Yeah.
Because he talks to his mates. I think I heard that every time they come on. It's like Europa League. He's like, Marky boy.
He's a great inventor of words. I always remember after the Man United Cup game in the snow. And he's been interviewed and it was freezing cold. He's obviously sweating. There's all steam coming up his head. And he used a word called, I'm over chuffed. And you're thinking, I have never heard that word ever. What is over chuffed? Are you chuffed?
Yeah.
Or you over it? Or
they get a bit of media training, don't they? And then they're told to kind of don't have.
Yeah, he obviously bunked off that lesson.
Yeah, well, no, I think the problem is they're not supposed to have breaks in your sentence. So I think when you're told to slow down, but he doesn't look like he slows down. He looks like he actually gets really excited, and he just keeps going. And when he keeps going, he gets himself into corners, and then he's like over.
Another thing I love about him though is we all respond to players that when they're talking about West Ham, go we and us. Yeah. And that says it all for me. So
well, I think you're right there, though, because there are players out there that do genuinely, like Carlton Cole is that kind of.
Yeah.
He has completely become a we and us.
Yeah.
Like there's no bullshit with that.
No.
You look at Joe Cole. Of course, he's a we and an us. Even though he went away and had a successful career at Chelsea, he's always aware of us. He's not aware of us when it comes to bloody Chelsea. But then you look at others who don't say it and celebrate in other ways and other means. But that's
what I'm saying. So, and that's the thing I look for when the pundit world has been full of ex-West Ham players. Going back, the Trevor Brooking on BBC. Bonzo used to do the radio, Tony Gow, Alvin Martin, Fleet Street was full of West Ham supporting journalists. That's why I always thought the manager was one of the hardest jobs to have, because when we were having bad times, all the press seemed to be on their back because they were all West Ham supporters, or half of them were. So, but when you listen to a pundit like Colton go, we and us, when he's talking about us, you think, well, there's a man who subconsciously is rooted in the club.
Yeah.
So even though he's an out-of-towner, so.
Oh, we all know that. We won't go there again. Although I've done my court case, so I know where I'm at. Anyway, when it comes to West Ham, David Moyes has been a busy man this week. He's been having a chat with everyone in his press conference. So I'm going to bring up some of the things he said in his press conference. He spoke about team news. He says, like everybody else, we've got a few COVID cases. We've done very well at present with it, but I'm sure like everyone else, we've got a few, like I said, COVID cases. Other than that, we're looking forward to the game and trying to get the players ready. He then goes on and talks about postponements. I'll come back to some of that in a minute. So I have no idea what any other clubs are doing. I just know that we've got players ready. And when we've been prepared to play in every game so far this season, we've got some COVID in the camp like everybody else, but that players or staff, but they're trying to play the games, and if we're asked to do so, we will do. To keep things as correct as it could be, teams might use the transfer window to strengthen, and teams who have missed 3 or 4 games might bring a bigger squad in. That wouldn't be correct, because at the moment, we've got to all deal with the same things. We have our players ready and have been prepared to play every game this season. Thankfully, we've been pretty good with COVID. We have a few cases in the camp, whether it be players or staff, but we're trying to play the games. And that's just talking about and bringing up the situation that we mentioned there, Nige and Matt. Like, he wants the games to continue. He's following the rules, following the guidelines, and preparing the players for this. Now, we don't know, unless anyone else in here knows, who the players potentially are that might be missing for tomorrow. I don't know if I'm looking at anyone in particular that might
can I just say, Anne, I think you should always, I think every YouTube channel should hire you to do the Moyes press conference, because
of my voice.
We got to stop doing it. We could just shut our eyes and think, that's Moyesy giving it. So
he's a bit more Glasgowian, so yeah.
Listen, I don't, I'm not expecting Kufal to play for whatever reason. And I'm not expecting, I don't know if it's Ashby, I think he'll miss out. I don't know if he's pulled something or got a cold or. So I don't know. No, I'm not.
Oh, God, love it. Love it. Oh, breaking news. Only joking. Yeah, so. I mean,
fucking hope Kufal plays tomorrow now.
But Moyes does have the right attitude, doesn't he, towards this whole situation, and it's.
I did see that he supported Hasenhüttl with his little agenda against the signings. He said, didn't he? Which I kind of understand. These teams that have had played 4 games less, said, how is it fair that they can go and buy players and then play in games that they've had postponed and not played in?
Well, he was asked in the press conference though about what do you think it would be fair if these teams do go away and strengthen and then play the games, and he said, he absolutely, completely said no, that should not happen. And I then said in the press conference show that I was doing, I don't know how you would manage that circumstance.
It's not that right.
Well, yeah, you could just turn around and say that, but what right do you have to say that? Because it's not just going to be a case of the Premier League will turn around and say, no, you can't play it, because every club will know the rule book, and that's where it starts to get a bit messy.
I'll tell you what, against Norwich, Declan Rice shouldn't have been playing because he was going to be suspended.
Yeah, you make a valid point.
Yeah, but then he still served his suspension.
But now he can play against Norwich. So Norwich go, well, hold up a minute, he shouldn't have played against us. You know,
Well,
what if you got a player that's
it.
injured? What if Antonio had been injured for the Norwich game, but now he's
So
fit?
this is the opposite side, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like,
so the Norwich go, oh, hold up a minute. You know, he's not allowed to play against us because he was injured. It ain't fair. You can't do
That's
it.
why,
Swings and roundabouts. You want to?
This is another reason why we get you on, Nige, because we love the devil's advocate in you.
Well,
we always know you want the best. We know you want the best for West Ham. We know you do.
Yeah.
But you always bring the devil's advocate, and that's good because that gives them a.
But also, it doesn't really affect us. I think because they've at least before they beat us, have been involved in this relegation battle. They're sitting over their shoulder thinking, well, hang on a minute. If Newcastle go and splash 200 million and buy a whole new starting 11, they played all the games they had off for 3 extra games. They could shoot up the table.
But is that going to happen? Really? No.
Well, Trivia didn't make a difference today.
So no.
Well, for anyone in the chat, if you want to start predicting your team lineup, then go for it. Your guess is as good as ours, but maybe we've got the best person in the group here, Matt. Maybe me and you, Matt, can just predict the team. I don't think Nigel has a clue what's going on for the game tomorrow. But name your starting 11 and predict your starting 11 for the game tomorrow. Now, this is not going to be as fancy as the guys over at Claret and Booze, but I know they use some fancy computer system. So I'll just go with the old computer system I've got here, and we're going to name our starting 11. Nigel going to give us a helping hand here. Goalkeeper, it's a no-brainer, really, is it? Is it a no-brainer that Areola comes in there and deputises in goal?
Did I not hear today that Moyes said Fabianski could be a starter though?
Where? I didn't see that.
No.
Oh,
right.
You having a little? Oh, is this a little? Oh. The question is then, Nige, would you want Fabianski or Areola for this game?
Don't really bother me actually. I think Areola's proved that he can. He's a quality deputy, and so many messages. So, yeah, Moyes, I think he said it in the press conference just to bail me out that Moyes is growing impatient on Areola. He said, perhaps you should read this out, and you got the accent. He could play Fabianski, but Alphonse has done well, he said, when he's played.
Right, okay.
But obviously, so there's that there. He could be playing Fabianski. I think, though, he'll play Areola. I think if we didn't have Norwich on Wednesday, it's possible we may have put a stronger team out.
Yeah.
So,
what do you think, Matt? Areola?
Oh, he's the cup goalkeeper, isn't he? And me and you've been saying for about 3 months at some point he'll start coming into the first team, but at the moment he's just a cup goalkeeper. So, cup game, get him in.
Right. With the players we've got available, what formation would we like to see tomorrow?
Be normal formation, wouldn't it? Moyes don't really change it.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
No news on Creswell, so we know that he won't be available tomorrow. So we'll move him out of the equation. What do we see at left back then? Because we've got, I suppose you could say you've got a couple of options here. You've got Longello, you've got Ben Johnson, whom I need to bring in. For some reason, I never bring him in.
Masuaku
as well. I mean, if we're going by what you have said there, Nige, and Sofal and Ashby may not be available tomorrow, that would probably put him here or give us the option of maybe playing Fredericks, who's not had a bit of game time.
I think in defence we're hampered because the problem we've got is we've been playing our reserve defence.
Yeah.
Because our 18 defence is injured. So realistically, it's only right back, and Sufal was out injured. So it's only between him and Johnson at right back. I don't know how Fredericks is or what's going on there, I must admit.
Yeah, no.
I did read that he might play.
So whether they'll put Johnson on the left and play Fredericks on the right, but then the centre halves have got to be what they are, isn't it? You're not going to throw kids in, are you?
No, they're not. So we'll go with the centre backs then. We think Dawson and Diop there in the centre back position. Yeah. I mean, let's try and make a prediction here. Right back.
I think Fredericks.
Yeah.
Do you think? Yeah, think you'll put him in there? And then
I think if nothing else, he wants to put him in the shop window. He's trying to stump up some interest in him.
Right, cool. Does that mean then we go with Johnson at the left? Oh well, has Johnson not picked up a bit of a knock as well?
He did, didn't he? That's the thing. That's why, I'm wondering if his hand is forced and it's Masuaku.
And it's Masuaku, yeah.
Didn't he say, I'm sure I read that they thought he'd still be right, that it was like a week later.
Yeah, I think it was, but then does he risk him knowing you've got Premier League games coming up? This is the other thing as well,
Depends where Creswell is.
Yeah.
Creswell won't be back till February.
You know what? I think I'd rather see Longello.
Yeah, but I mean, putting Longello in there, means that there's only one kid. I mean, it's something that,
it's only one.
Yeah, it's only one. It's not such a drastic change. Yeah. But what do we think realistically? I mean, Matt, you're going with Longello. Nigel, you're going with Masuaku?
I mean, personally, I'd rather Longello. Yeah, because I think it's shown the fan base has definitely lost confidence in Masuaku ever playing left back. Yeah, and Masuaku actually could play in front of Longello. So you could have them both there, but put Masuaku on the left of the midfield in front of him. So he hasn't got the defensive responsibility permanently, but he's there to help him out. Now that I would buy into.
Well, let's leave them both on the screen just now then. Let's go into the centre of the park. Mark Noble's last ever year in the FA Cup, or as we know it for West Ham anyway. Does he start? Does he come straight in?
Yeah.
Yep. Who plays alongside him?
Well, he has been playing Souček all the time, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has, alongside him.
He may rest Rice.
I want to say Crowell.
Do you know, there's a bit of me
that
I got
a feeling it's going to be Rice.
Him. Yeah, I've got a feeling that Moyes don't fancy Crowell. It's strange, the lack of playing time he's been getting. And I'm using that as he's had chances to rest Souček in the past and never took it. So it's a toss of a coin between what one of them sits out.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I think I'm going to go with Noble and Souček due to the fact that last time out, Noble gave Souček that freedom to go further forward. Leeds are not good at defending set pieces, so having Souček in that box at set pieces, gives West Ham an option. And if things are going okay, and if they need to bring Souček off, then so be it. But I do think that there's an element of taking this game serious as well to a certain extent and try and get the deal done on the day. So, I mean, I'll go with that. What do you think? Yeah.
I've just flicked through the FA Cup results quickly, and obviously Man City have gone through, Chelsea gone through. There's still a lot of, realistically, there's only 3 teams or 2 teams really. Only Man City and Chelsea. Oh, Chelsea as such. I think I really wouldn't want to play. I'll take Man United. I'll take Arsenal. Or actually, maybe not Arsenal. We might have a better crack against Chelsea than Arsenal. So there's nothing to be frightened of. So I think Moyes might be looking. He could get another cup run here, get past it, and that's why perhaps he will sort of go a bit stronger.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Right. So we have got Noble, Souček in there. Let's go at the right hand side. Who does he give a shot on the right hand side? Are we sticking with Masuaku in the left? If that is, again, this could be dramatically different, but it's something that we think that Moyes may do on the basis of the fact that if Soufal, Ashby are missing, potentially, then he may be forced to, and if Johnson has still got a bit of a niggle, and we've got games coming up, then it may force his hand and maybe bring Fredericks back into the equation. I mean, but like you've said, both of you have said, Fredericks could come out, Johnson could go in, or Longello could come out, Johnson could go in, and Masuaku could sit out on the basis of that. But let's keep going and rolling with this one. Masuaku in at left, which supports Longello. Who goes in at the right?
Unfortunately, I've got Yarmolenko written down. Again, to get him in the shop window.
Yep. Do you think Moyes is going to use this game as a shop window game, Nige?
Well, the funny thing is he could put Yarmolenko up front, but it depends. Will he leave out Antonio and Bowen? For me, he may put Bowen up front.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
And then are we going with Vlasic through the middle?
Yeah.
What do we all think of that then?
I mean, that's the team I would expect to give Leeds a game in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Leeds are going to be making changes, obviously, as well. So
and they've already 9 players down. So
realistically,
they're probably looking at I think was it the Arsenal game just before Christmas when their entire bench was full of kids. Like the average age of their bench was like 19.
That's the thing, I don't feel sorry for Leeds, but it does seem a bit unjust when COVID called a game off. If you're decimated with injuries, don't care. And it does seem that it's one rule for one. Yeah, it does. And the reason for that is the big teams have got bigger squads as well, so they can cope with losing a couple of players. I don't know what Klopp was moaning about. Realistically,
one of the Man United games that got called up before Christmas, they had like 4 cases.
Yeah,
and that was it. And they got the game called off. And you think they've got a 25-man squad, Man United. It's like, now it's the most expensive assembled squad in the league.
But it's the quality of their squad as well. We got a 25-man squad, but the quality is nowhere near what.
Once you go past our first 15 players, 16 players, it drops off. Whereas they've got world-class players strewn
all
throughout.
the way through 20, 21 players that would walk into our first team.
But I said Leeds got. You could almost make an entire first 11 out of the players they got out injured. Leeds, apart from a goalkeeper, that's their downfall. They haven't got a goalkeeper injured. That's probably why the game has been called off.
That's the thing. Yeah.
I mean, we've not even mentioned any of the younger players in terms of up front. You've got Okoflex, you've got Perkins. I
was expecting a lot of kids on the bench, to be honest.
I mean, he wouldn't.
One name I was going to mention, I wasn't sure whether he fit or not, was Coventry.
He's back from Peterborough now.
Yeah.
Peterborough, yeah.
And he has been. I don't know. I think if we was playing a Div 2 team, a Div 1 team, like we've played in the past, like Doncaster was last year, wasn't it? We had Doncaster, we've had Oxford. If we was playing teams like that, then I think he might have gone with more kids. But I think with Leeds, the one thing with Moyes, he won't want to gamble. He's not really a gambler, is he?
He wants a result. He wants a result. He says it. He says it week in and week out. He wants consistency. Within this team.
Look at Europe. We were basically through, but he only played the kids when we definitely won the group.
Yeah,
the game before we were basically through, which was the Vienna game at home. Still didn't put a strong team out, didn't he?
Yeah.
The kids only went in. If you look at, he's only really played a lot of kids in the Zagreb game at home when it did not matter if we lost 5-0, we'd won the group.
Yeah.
So there was there was no insurance policy needed, and that's the thing with Moyes. I think as well.
This isn't going to be a big Sam job, is it? He's not going to stick 11 kids out.
I think with Everton, if you look, he did get to the final. Again, with a manager like Moyes, and this is the thing, you think about Moyes and how he's reborn himself at West Ham, and look what he'd done at Everton. Never won a trophy, though, was he?
No. Sorry, I just want to quickly address this for Nick. According to sources, potentially Ashby and Sofal may be out, may be out. So we're basing that team upon the fact that they're not going to be available. No, you're right. He hasn't won a cup at all. No, he's not. But there's been so many comments here. I mean, this is a good point as well. Like West Ham 94 saying, I think that Antonio will play, and then versus Norwich, he will sit on the bench, and then Bowen to go up top, up front. Now, Norwich are in free fall, and you could literally take the two games, and I mean, Moyes could be thinking about, well, of course he's thinking about the two games in quick succession. FA Cup, get through to the next round, 3 points in the next game, good momentum for the club. But are you going to play Antonio in the two games? Are you going to? Well, we know Bowen can play in the two games, and
I think Antonio, energy-wise, could play in the two games.
I think Antonio could play two, just not three.
Yeah,
which is why I don't think he'll play today. I think there's no way he doesn't play at Norwich, because don't forget the last time Antonio played Norwich, he scored 4 goals. So.
I mean, what you might find is, and it is a good tactic, which people, the thing is to keep the players, rather than sitting around on the bench, as we've seen, they can go a bit rusty, not do them a favour. You might see Antonio come on for the last 15, 20 minutes. And Moyes loves a sub on 70 minutes.
Yeah, but he never does that with Antonio. It always seems to be Antonio starts the game, and then he's subbed off on the 75th minute.
Well, yeah.
The amount of times we've
perhaps he'll bring
like
him
this.
on just to get. Yeah. I mean, sometimes your substitutes, especially in cup, are dictated by the scoreline, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Well, this is the team that we are predicting for tomorrow. Well, listen, as best as we can do. Areola in goal. Longelo out on the left-back position, Dawson Diop centre-backs, Ryan Fredericks, if he is available, to play at right-back position, Yarmolenko on the right, Mark Noble, Tommy Soucek in the middle, Masuaku on the left, hopefully, and I've seen people slagging him off, supporting Longelo, Vlasic playing in the hole with Bowen up top. Get your comments in and let us know your thoughts. Last but not least, get your predictions in the chat and let me know what you think the scoreline will be for tomorrow. Mark Alexander is saying, with Leeds having players out, makes sense to rest them now and play him versus Norwich. Rob's projector wall saying, let's have it right tomorrow if we don't beat a depleted Leeds team. Moyes hasn't been given a chance by fans at other clubs, and they are now regretting it. Do you think? I mean, you could agree with that. Do you agree with that? Either of you?
I don't know. Sunderland. I know a few Sunderland fans. They're not his biggest fan, but Sunderland were in free fall. Yeah.
But he also got promised money at Sunderland that he never got.
Yeah. And I was surprised when I was surprised when he left, because I thought they would have kept him to get him back up, or thing. But then, fortunately, we've got a great TV documentary series which probably shows why he left, because it was a basket case and a car crash of a club at the time under the owner, who then sold it to a case of an owner selling it to owners are actually worse than the bloke that was selling it. So, and even this owner, Sunderland Strange thing, are owned by a 24-year-old. And quite where we found the money to buy Sunderland is that they secretly believed that the previous owners, McDonald and Stewart or something, still got something to do with it because they're refusing to speak about it. But that's something, that is not Leeds or Sunderland. But Moyes, Man United.
That job was poisoned from the start, right? That team that Ferguson won the title with that last season was genuinely awful.
I think
he should never have won the title that year. And that's why he walked away, because he was like, I'm never going to repeat this.
No, I'm with you, Matt. And I remember saying about a year after, when Fergie was at Man United, who liked him, really? He moaned as much as Klopp moans. It was always everything was against him. It was never this. And it weren't all that. And yet, when he retires and he wins the title by, I think, 10 points at least, with the worst Man United team. He knew.
At that time, it was the worst one I'd ever had. Obviously, now it's different.
The
but
funny,
yeah.
I love the history. So, and it is mad how history repeats itself. It's mad, because what's happened here is exactly what happened when Busby left. Yeah, they Busby brought in Wilf McGuinness. Wilf McGuinness was a coach at the club. He was young, but he was a coach at the club. He only lasted 7-8 months, the same as Moyes did. I mean, they then reverted back. I think they gave it the gigs, innit? But what they did is they brought Busby back. Then Busby did temporarily and was replaced by Franco Farrell, ex-West Ham manager, who did a year and a half. Didn't do anything. He had a great start. Car crashed. I don't even think they got the cup final or whatever. The same as who was the Dutchman that was
Van Gaal.
Van Gaal. Van Gaal won a cup, but the football was so poor. Believe it or not, but it didn't look that poor when they knocked us out in the last FA Cup game ever to be played at the Bowling. So Van Gaal, then they go to Mourinho, who's a serial trophy winner, but by God, he knows how to blow a club up. They move on to a legend who, Mourinho, 18 months, puts the UEFA Cup and the League Cup on the table. Ollie's there for 3 years, spends all the money, wins fuck all. They finish runners up. And if you look at Man United in the 70s, it's exactly what's going on now. The only thing they haven't done is gone down, which they did in the 70s as well.
It didn't matter whether it was Moyes or someone else. No matter who you put in after Ferguson left, was never going to succeed. Actually, I'm pretty sure. I'm sure I read this. This was before Ollie got sacked. But Moyes still had like one of the best records since Ferguson. Like he got one of the best manager records
or something.
Yeah, like win percentage.
Yeah,
he's up there in like the top 5.
Yeah, but they'd won the league, and under Moyes, I think there was no patience shown, no understanding of. And the funny thing is, it's replicated. Even if you look at West Ham, how did we follow John Lyall with a manager that lasted 7 months? Because Arsenal, how did they replace Wenger with a manager that lasted 18 months? There's a mindset. It's so ingrained when you have a manager like for a long period of time, 8, 10, 12, 20 years, that when you move out of that, you're so desperate to get back to success, because that's why that manager's gone, or keep the success, that you fail to realise it can take 3-4 seasons to build a club again, to keep producing teams. And they were blinkered, Man United, that Fergie was at Man United, 24 years?
But he didn't win anything for like how many years when he first went in? He got sacked, didn't he?
What did he win? 12 titles? So that was 13 years he didn't win the title? They seem to forget. Was
it 2 or 3 years in he got sacked? He got saved by an FA Cup game.
Yeah, so he was appointed in 86. October 86, he turned up at Man United, and he won the FA Cup, beating Crystal Palace. Was it in the final after a replay? Drew 3-3. Ian Wright come on as a sub, scored a goal in the first game. Replay. Man United won the replay 1-0. Lee Martin, I think, scored the goal that saved his career. In fact, I think he was due to be sacked after the Nottingham Forest 3rd round game. And Mark Robbins scored the winner in that game. And then they went on the cup run. He won the FA Cup, won the European Cup Winners' Cup, finished runners-up in the last ever Football League, and then won the first Premier League. And the rest was history.
The rest is in your brain. That's what. Yes. Why do you think I put this bloody gif up? It's the Matrix. Yeah. It's your mind's just going.
I was just thinking back to. It was funny because there's a famous banner at a Man United game, and they drag him out now and again. If you and it's like Tara Fergie, 3 years of nothing. Yeah. Oh. That's what the banners are. Basically, this is like 1989, and the Man United fans want him out. And then 1990, he goes into the 3rd round of the FA Cup against Nottingham Forest. It may have gone to a replay, I'm not sure, but it was definitely a goal by Mark Robbins, who went on to play for Norwich and done well. I think he's manager of Coventry City now. Scored the goal that knocked Cloughie's Forest out. And then from then on, they went on a cup run. But there you go. 3 years of excuses is still crap Tara Fergie. You know, that's a famous banner. And then in the final of the FA Cup, because it's FA Cup, they played Palace and they drew 3-3. I think they were 3-2 down. Ian Wright come on as a sub. Ian Wright had broke his leg and was coming back from injury. Mark Bright was at Palace. Gareth Southgate was at Palace. Nigel Martin in goal for Palace. They drew 3-3. And the West Ham connection was he dropped Jim Leighton, who had been his keeper at Aberdeen as well, and put in Les Sealey in goal. And Man United won the FA Cup with Les Sealey in goal on the Thursday. Les Sealey tried to give his medal to Jim Leighton, and Jim Leighton said, "No, you keep it, mate." Because I think it was the only FA Cup game Les Sealey played in for Man United that season, the final, and won it.
Well, thank you for watching the Man United Network. I hope you've enjoyed that history lesson.
Actually, wouldn't it be good to go on to MUTV and they're sitting there like 20 snot-year-olds and I'm just fucking
Jonathan's saying, why are we talking about Man United? We're playing Leeds.
So, to revert it back, yeah.
Well, I can tell you about Leeds, that Leeds played in blue and yellow and were known as the Peacocks because of a pub that was in Ellen Road. Yeah, it was called the Peacock. And Don Revie, why did they change to all white?
You tell me, Nige.
Right, because Don Revie wanted to bring the spirit of Real Madrid to Leeds. Real Madrid had won the European Cup 5 or 6 times in a row when Don Revie took over late 50s. He wanted them to believe they could be as good as Real Madrid, and he changed them from blue and yellow to all white.
Wow. Well, hold on a minute. Just stay there. Keep going. Keep going.
Yeah, that's, so unfortunately under Revie, they were the great runners-up. I think they lost the FA Cup final 3 times and they won it once. Which I do reveal tomorrow in my article. I can run it off now. There's only about 10 people watching.
And if you are interested in getting any more on what Nigel does, go across and check out www.6foot2.co.uk. You will not be disappointed.
Is it not amazing, quickly, because this is Leeds, is it not amazing that you think of West Ham Leeds? We've played each other 107 times, yeah? This is only the 3rd time in the FA Cup. We've been drawn against each other, and the first time since 1930.
30, yeah. It's huge.
And
Vic Watson got the 4 goals, as we know.
Yeah.
We didn't actually... we didn't
I think he got 2... when we beat them 5 years earlier as well. No, I think they knocked us out. He may have got 1. But what had happened is, the funny thing about it is he got 4 goals, but the year before we'd beat Leeds 8-2 and he got 6.
Yes.
And 2 months after, after we played Leeds in the league, and Vic Watson got an hat-trick.
Yep. That's why he's our all-time goal scorer, isn't he? Lawrence Watkins 2-1 West Ham. Mark Alexander saying 5-0. With Yarma and Masuaku 1 each. I take it that's what you mean. So you think 5-0, but if them 2 play, it's going to be 1 each. Nick Killington saying 3-0 West Ham B team. Rob's projectable saying 4-0 is a must. Glenn Marshall saying easy win 3 or 4-0. Neil T saying 2-0. Alfie saying 3-0. Paul Evans saying 6-0. Black Country Hammer saying be positive 4-0 tomorrow. Close game from Martin H 2-0. Levis Hallow 2-1 West Ham. Howard Ailes saying 6-0 if Massa and Yarmolenko don't play. Noble to score penalty. Mark Alexander 5-0 Yarmo. Oh, I think we said that one, haven't we? 3-0 from Crazy Call. P. Gadsy saying Antonio was hot. Play him to keep him hot. Take him off at the half.
Where are you finding all these people?
Scott R saying 2-1 in first extra time with Leeds running into our back feet. Ariola making 17 saves. Dawson both goals off headers. Mario 3-1 West Ham. West Ham random saying 4-0. Put a pound in, Anton. What for? 2-2. If Massa and Yarma play from Paul Evans. Shedman, I love your knowledge. I could listen to Nigel all day long. He is massive. Yep, he is.
Yeah, I'm hoping to lose that weight though.
WHU 58. Bloody hell, Nigel. Your West Ham
That's
knowledge is off the
Christmas.
scale. You need to go on Mastermind. Adam is saying, even and everyone, sorry, late 2-0 win. Bowen and Rice.
Now you're making these names up now. Don't take the piss. Come on.
Martin H. Nigel's the new Stato. Step aside, Matt. Paul Evans is saying Nigel's the man. Real passion. And I'm skipping the comments as well because we bloody can't keep doing them all. We don't need Google. We've just got Nigel from WHU 58. Howard Ailes is saying eyes are blue. Yep, there you go. 6'2". Billy Bonds is after you. Glenn Marshall. The man is a walking encyclopedia. He is. And he's got, I don't know. Nigel, you plan to do anything with your YouTube channel? I know you've got one, The Real History, which has got really, really good stuff, informative stuff.
Realistically, I'll stick to doing stuff with Claret and Blues and you boys. Truthfully, I'll probably be more, Claret and split my time. And then I'll do history stuff, yes. So, but I won't be doing anything. At the end of the day, I think I enjoy you lot and I enjoy Gary, Nick and John and what we do there. And I don't think, why start up and do that myself when I can just get used to do it and I'll just fucking embed it onto my website. Save me doing it, isn't it? Fucking. So no, do you know what I mean? So yes, the future is there'll be videos on there. So I'll put Claret and Blues videos on there. I'll talk to you boys. I'll put some of your stuff up as well. And what I'll do is the aim is to create more history videos going forward. Do some more podcasts. It'll be like an all-round thing, and then articles. Yep. The thing about a fanzine was what was good about it. It was the fans were doing the writing. You had your regulars, but you had your irregulars, and that's the plan. I want as many other people to write things, and I'll publish it. Gary at Overland and Sea was the big one for me. He published my stuff, and he weren't bothered what I wrote. He put it in.
Yep. No, good.
So,
Nigel, what's your predictions for the FA Cup tomorrow?
Well, I only know the game we're playing, so I can only say that I think we'll win. I don't know who else is playing. I know it's 2:00 because I have actually checked this kickoff time. It is 2:00, isn't it? Oh,
yeah. Yep. It was moved from 2:30 as well.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I can't see them scoring because I think they'll struggle with a team putting out. So I'm going to go like 2 or 3-0.
Okay, he's gone big. Matt?
I was going to say 3-1. I still think Rafinha's on the pitch, so he's on the pitch.
Well, yeah.
And I'm pretty sure if we go back to the last time we played, it was the same thing. Once Rafinha come off,
we got
back in the game.
Actually, he's the one in midfield, the Irish. I keep wanting to call him Hugh Dallas, but he was a referee in Scotland. Stuart Dallas, isn't it? That's
Stuart Dallas.
You know, isn't it?
You need to have whatever your mate Sean, because apparently Sean Bowen might be playing up front. I don't know who he is.
Well, obviously, my mate Sean don't write for Claret and you anymore, apparently. But as Anton will know, the day he turned around and said that in a group chat, I then produced an article we wrote on Claret and you that very day.
Yep.
But apparently that was a one-off.
And the fact that he talks about Troy Deeney starting for Watford.
He's a freelancer. He's a freelancer now. There you go. He wants to write articles more than 200 words.
Listen, it's been a pleasure having you on, Nigel, Matt, and myself. Also,
we finished?
Well. We are, mate.
I did 3.5 hours yesterday. Weren't you amateurs?
This ain't the still hour. You can come back on Monday night if you want to do 3 hours.
Yeah, because it's going to be about a 3-hour session tomorrow. You name it. It's happening all the time. But no, it is a pleasure having you on. And I know you're going to the game tomorrow, so I hope you all enjoy it. I'm desperately trying to get tickets to the Man United game. It's proving really tough. They seem to be like gold dust just now.
Do you know, and this the mad thing about that, I know quickly, is that in previous years, never had trouble whatsoever. The thing about Manchester is I've got family up there. So normally I want 3 or 4. I've only got 1. And I'm obliged to give that to my nephew who lives up there. And yeah, I must admit,
really, I'm struggling.
I'm gambling that nearer the time that there'll be a drop off.
Yeah,
hopefully a few people catch COVID that have got tickets and have to punt them out.
I'm thinking, I think the same, but I've never struggled, but I'm struggling.
Yeah.
And I've tried everywhere.
Well, Man United aren't the same team anymore, are they? It's a genuine place you can go and win.
I think a couple of years running, I put in for 3 tickets on the ballot and won them.
Yeah.
You know, and yet, you know, that's what happens when you keep winning away, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
Everyone
right.
wants to
thanks for joining us. I hope you join us tomorrow. We'll be doing the Matchday live. I don't know what time that'll be on, but just check out on the channel, hit the notification. That will let you know when we do the show. Go and check out 6foot2.co.uk. And you'll find out all the stuff that Nigel is doing as well. Thank you for joining us. Stay safe and come on, you Irons. Let me find the video first before I play it.